Hi, this is Don Crowther. Let's talk about experience selling essentials. The things you've got to have to be able to successfully sell stuff online. Because really, when it comes down to it, it's very simple. You only need 5 things to sell stuff online. First, you need a way to get people's contact information. Secondly, you need a way to communicate your offer and be able to make the sale. Third, you need a way to take their money. Fourth, a way to send them emails. And fifth, a way to get potential buyers to come to your offer. So let's go through each one of these. Now, I want you to realize that this is an overview. I'm not going deep into the specific technologies on how to do that. Those will be covered in our technology Q&A sessions. So, first off, a way to get their contact information. Basically, what you do to do this is to give them something for free in exchange for their email address. So this thing that you give them for free can be a special report, it can be a checklist, it can be a personal consultation, which works great in one-on-one or one-to-few kinds of selling campaigns. It can be a coupon, which frankly we don't usually recommend. It can be a handout. It can be a set of steps that they need to take to be able to succeed. And all of this is usually done through a squeeze page. And so you've all seen squeeze pages, a page that asks people to give their email address, sometimes name, sometimes other information in exchange for that free offer that you have made to them. So a squeeze page tends to have certain elements. The first is a headline, something that tells them the benefit that they will receive from the free thing that you are offering them. Now, by the way, that is important. You don't say, get a free report. You say, learn how to 3 times your sales from the same amount of traffic. Can you see how free report versus 3 times your sales from the same amount of traffic, the second is much more compelling than the first. Second, it helps to have a picture illustrating what that free thing is. So if it's a free report, you put a picture of a free report. If they get a free coffee maker, you show them a picture of the free coffee maker. If they get a free personal consultation, you may want to show a picture of somebody on the phone. Whatever that is, try to give them a instantly recognizable image that illustrates that free thing. Next, a bullet point list showing why they want to get it. Now notice it didn't say a bullet point list showing a list of all the chapters in your free report, or a bullet point list showing all the features of your free thing. Rather, it says a bullet point list showing why they want to get it. In other words, focus on the benefits rather than the feature. So, a feature is new Tide with whitening power. The benefit is so your clothes look like new again. A benefit is what they get out of the feature, which is the thing that they're buying, whatever that's a thing, a physical thing, or a feature. The benefit is the result that they get. Why do we do this? Because people buy benefits. They don't buy features. Amateurs try to sell them features. You get 16 hours of phone calls with me. That's a feature. 16 hours of phone calls with you. The benefit is I hold your hand to help you achieve the goal of blank. Or you get my personal advice on how to achieve that. Notice that there is a big difference in how you feel about that. Now, sometimes you have to tell them the feature to get to the benefit. You get 16 hours of phone calls with me as I hold your hand to help you achieve this objective. That was a combination feature, benefit, statement. A great way to remember this is if you list a feature, always have something after it that tells the benefit. Feature, now with whitening power, so that your clothes look like new again. It's the piece that comes after it that turns into the benefit. Now, going back from teaching you marketing to teaching you how to create a squeeze page, the next piece of a squeeze page is called an opt-in form, where you're asking for their email address, maybe their name, maybe additional information. Now, here's the thing. The fewer things you ask them for, the higher the percentage of people who will give you their email address. If you ask them what's your annual revenue, what's the name and phone number of the key decision maker, what is your company's name and city and state where it is, you will see for every one of those additional questions, we call those a field, a place where they answer that question. For every one of those you add, you'll get a lower amount, a lower percentage and raw number of responses to that. Now, in some cases, you want to do that because you want to kick out everyone who isn't a big multinational company. But wait a minute, what if having 5 questions also repels the big multinational companies? So it's a fine line that you walk and you test to see which one gives you the best results in terms of total sales. The other piece you will want to have on your squeeze page is some kind of a privacy policy statement. Something that says, we won't sell your address to anyone else. See our privacy policy. And the privacy policy is linked to your actual legal privacy policy statement. Now, you should know that Heroic has these built in. Very easy in Heroic to add squeeze pages or opt-in forms to any page and to your site. In WordPress, you just search for WordPress Squeeze Page plugin. And there are a whole bunch of different plugins that allow you to be able to collect people's email address. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you do what's called integrating your autoresponder. The way you do that is you tie that form to the program, the email program that actually collects their email address. So if you were using, for example, ActiveCampaign, ActiveCampaign gives you some code that you then plug into your form on your website. And we will show you how to do this in our technical how-to sessions later on. Next, you want to make sure that you create a thank you page that delivers your freebie. So they have a squeeze page that they come to get the freebie, and then you create a thank you page that actually has a download link on it to deliver that freebie. And again, as I told you, This is an overview of how this entire process works. Don't worry, we will handle the details later on. The second piece that you need to be able to sell stuff online is a way to communicate your offer or make the sale. Now, in order to do this, you only need 3 simple pages. The first is a sales page. The second is a checkout page where you tell them how much it costs and take their contact information. And the third is a thank you page where you acknowledge what they purchased and give them their next step. So, simple sales web page. What is required in those? First off, you really need to have a headline. A headline that, again, talks benefits of buying or investing in your product or service. The next, you need some list of selling points. This can be in paragraph form. It can be in bullet point form. It can be with videos. It can be whatever it is that does the best job of selling for you at this stage in your company's progress. For most of you, it will be a simple set of paragraphs and images that describe your product and its benefits, and some bullet points that talk about what they will get and the benefits of that. Again, now with whitening power, so your clothes look new again. The third thing is some kind of checkout button, something that when they click it, it enables you to take money. I will show you that in a moment. Now, those are the required things. There's only 3 things that are really required. Optional, you can add a sales video. Those are always very nice. And by the way, we consistently find that sales videos outperform a page that just has text on it without a sales video. Second, testimonials. Now, if you're just getting started and don't yet have any testimonials, then this is something you'll want to add later on. But once you have them, you'll want to add them because they are a very convincing part of the sales process. And the third thing is fancy, elegant design. You've seen Marisa's very elegant sales pages and how she does everything in her design. It's part of the selling point. It's part of the thing that sets Marisa apart from all of her competitors. Elegant design is a very nice plus, but again, it's optional. If it's going to take you months and more money than you can afford to get an elegant design, then just do a regular looking one without elegant design. In other words, do the best you can, but the ones on the right side of the screen are optional. Now, this whole selling page thing can be as simple as a page on a blog. Or you can get really fancy and have lots of different things. You can have video testimonials. You can have a sales video. You can have things that fly in, all those kinds of things. But really, it could be done with just a page on a blog. I literally lived for the first 10 years of my online marketing company selling online services and products to people just using a blog. It can be easily done. Now, Heroic enables you to quickly and easily build sales pages that are gorgeous and that sell. And that's one reason why you have access to Heroic. Now, there are some people who want to go WordPress. Heroic's excellent, but those who are convinced that they have to go WordPress, the one I recommend is called Thrive Themes. Thrive Themes is designed to be conversion focused. it gives you the ability to literally do freeform. So you can put any box or picture or button anywhere on the screen that you want to. It's an excellent, powerful tool that you may want to consider. Now, I recommend that as you go through this process, that you keep it simple for now. Never let the technology of creating the sales process hold you back, because done is always better than perfect, because you will never achieve perfection. Just get it done and go sell. And then once you've got money in, okay, now work on it for the next round so that it's stronger. But initially, don't allow the technology to slow you down. Third, you need a way to take their money. There are two very simple ways that we recommend you start off. The first is PayPal. The beauty of PayPal is that people can either take the money that they have in their PayPal account, or that they may have their PayPal account already hooked to their bank account and pay you directly with that, or they can pay using credit card. Now, PayPal is slightly more expensive to use credit cards than other services, but there are a lot of people that use PayPal as a core of their business in everything that they do. Let me show you how you create a PayPal button. The way you do it is you start by having a PayPal account, which I assume that you can figure that part out. And once you've signed up, you can go up here to Tools and just come down to All Tools, and then just scroll down, and you have right here PayPal buttons. So we're going to open that up. Now you have several different buttons that you can use. You can use a Buy Now button, which is what you'll probably do in most cases. You can use an Add to Cart if you have a bunch of different items, a Donate if you're a nonprofit and you want to give people the ability to donate. If you want to be able to do something where they're going to pay month on month to month, just continue going like a membership program, or an installment plan. So most of you are probably going to use the Buy Now and the installment plan options. The only difference is this is one pay, this is multi-pay. So let's just click on this to show you how you do a Buy Now button. So you choose what type of button, and we said this is going to be a Buy Now button, and then you put your item name in this, and so we're going to put our course name, whatever that is, and you can put an item ID optional, and then you can say, okay, this is $497, and you can say, okay, I want this in US dollars or Russian, whatever those are, whatever currency you do it in. And then here it is. This is what that button will look like. Now you can customize text and appearance and you can say, okay, I don't want to show the credit card, or I want to show a smaller button or something like that. And so you can play with these kinds of things. They can be Buy Now or Pay Now, whichever works best. And then if you have something that's going to be shipped, you can say, okay, this is going to cost $4.97 to ship, and I have to charge sales tax in my area of 5.1%, and it's going to go to my merchant, to my PayPal address, and you can track inventory and all those kinds of things like that. And so when you're done, you just hit Create Button, and what it does is it then gives you this code right here. And that code is what makes that button. You simply copy this code and then paste it into your tool, your page builder, and then when it shows, it will put that button on their screen. That's all there is to it, and then you will have a PayPal button on your screen. The next thing that we recommend for people who are getting started at your level is what we call Stripe. Now, don't get me wrong when I say at your level, because Unless you're selling over $5,000 every single month, it's actually cheaper to use Stripe than it is to use other what are called merchant accounts. A merchant account gives you the ability to take people's credit cards. It basically connects your account at your bank to agency that takes credit cards in your behalf. Stripe is beautiful and wonderful because it's a very inexpensive, very easy way to be able to take credit cards. Let me show you how it works. One of the beauties of Stripe is that it is very inexpensive and very easy. So I'm here on the Stripe page. I'm just going to go here to pricing, and you can see it is 2.9% of the transaction plus 30 cents. And again, as I've told you, so that you know, most merchant accounts charge you a monthly fee plus a whole bunch of other fees like non-network transactions and a fee for people who use a mileage card and things like that. And so by the time you add all those fees together, yes, they may offer an account for 2.5% plus 30 cents a transaction, but by the time they charge you a $35 monthly fee plus a $30 fee for this and a $10 fee for that plus all these individual transaction fees, it usually is $5,000 to $10,000 before you'll break even. So this is not a bad plan at all. It does get a little more expensive if you're doing over $5,000 in transaction per month on a regular basis. When you hit that level, you've got a good problem. That's when you go and you apply for a regular merchant account, which you'll be able to find via Google. So literally, it's as simple as clicking create account, and you fill in your information and you hook it up to your bank by giving your routing number and your account number, and they don't do credit checks and everything else like that. You just have a Stripe account. So it is great. Now, the challenge of a Stripe account is you still have to do something to be able to take Stripe. So Heroic has Stripe built in. So if you're using Heroic, you'll be able to simply sign up for a Stripe account, put your account information into Heroic, and you'll be able to take Stripe immediately. If you want to use WordPress, you're going to have to go and find Stripe plugins to be able to do that. So if you just go to wordpress.org/plugins and then do a search on the word Stripe, you'll get a whole bunch of different options. This WP Simple Pay is a great option. Let me just use this to show you what a Stripe transaction looks like. This is what a Stripe form looks like when someone wants to check out. Is you've got a place for them to put their email address, and you can dictate what goes in each of these, their credit card and their expiration date and the numbers on the back of their cards, and this would then charge them the amount that you dictate. Or you can even do something like a pay what you want down here. If you've got something where you are going to give people the ability to have a multi-payment, then you could do something like this where they're subscribing, and again, it's charging them for a set amount of money. You can give them the option to select what kind of plan they want. You can add their full name, their start date, their comments. All kinds of different things can be done with this WP Simple Pay plugin for WordPress. I've used it. I recommend it. It's good and solid. And so it's an easy way to be able to take Stripe. But hey, as we said, Heroic has all of this built in. Now I'm going to give you a reminder. don't forget to create your thank you page. Both on PayPal and on Stripe, you have the ability to say, once their transaction clears, what URL do you want them to go to? And it will then take their payment, and if it's successful, then they land on the thank you page. Now, that thank you page could be an upsell page. For example, you sell them a course and then you upsell them to coaching, or it could just be a thank you page where you begin the process of running your program. The fourth thing that you need is a way to send people emails. So if your prospect list is small, because you're just getting started, you can literally send directly from Gmail or your regular email program. If it's bigger, you need a way to be able to sign people up and be able to send mass emails to a large group of people. You can't do that using Gmail if you've got more than about 50 to 100 people. And so you then get a campaign with what's called an email service provider. I recommend 2 of them. The first one is called Active Campaign. The second one is called ConvertKit. Both of these programs allow you to be able to have people opt in to your list and to send emails to everyone. They also give you the ability to create what we call an autoresponder, which gives them an automatic sequence of emails. So when they first sign up and buy your product, you may want to send them an onboarding email, and then one that tells them, that tells them how they can get support. And you want that to happen 3 hours later, and then you want something to happen the next day, and then something to happen 2 days after that. Well, that is all called an autoresponder. An autoresponder is a robot that lives at an email address, and what it does is it sends emails based upon how long it's been since someone opted into that email. That's an autoresponder. Very simple. Sequential. Send this, and then send this, and then send this, and these are the dates that you send them on. The beauty of Active Campaign and ConvertKit is in this last point, which is it allows you to create conditional emails based upon people's behaviors. All of this giving you key features that you will need later on. Let me demonstrate just an idea of why this is important. Okay, so here's an idea of how a conditional autoresponder works. So if a customer makes a purchase, then you send an automatic email that goes to them 2 days later. And then if the customer engages in feedback, perhaps they respond to that, then you send them a personalized discount back to them, and you then send them monthly new product emails that are sent to that customer. Now, if they didn't engage in feedback, then you would skip this step right here. And so you build something like this, where you say, did the customer reply to email pitch 2? If they did, then you add the task email to a deal. So then you say, okay, if they responded, you send them a deal. If they didn't, you unsubscribe them from the list, sales and deals. So your actions that you are taking and that you're having your program take are based on the actions that they take. Now, you may have just said, whoa, that sounds complex. And I'd understand you for saying this. But here's the thing. As soon as you get into business and start doing any kind of serious business online, you're going to want to have this functionality to be able to send different emails to people depending on what they do. If they show interest in this, then send them emails about that. If they don't send them emails about that. The challenge is that if you use other email programs, like ones that contain the word monkey or other kinds of programs out there, you don't get this functionality. So if you start out with one of those other programs that does not have this functionality, later on when you want it, you will have to have everybody opt in to your email list again in order to move it to another company. So I recommend that you get this functionality right out of the gate, which is why I recommend ActiveCampaign and ConvertKit at one or the other of those as the email service provider that you use right out of the gate. And yes, it's quite affordable right out of the gate. Now, the fifth thing you need is a way to get potential buyers to see your offer. And the way we solve that is with the marketing campaigns that Marisa has or will be teaching you. Now, I invite you, as your action step to take at this point, is to go and identify the elements that you want to have in your marketing toolbox. In other words, what tools are you going to use to get their contact information? What are you going to use to communicate your offer to them and make the sale? In other words, build your sales pages. Next, what are you going to use to take their money? PayPal or Stripe? Maybe both. And what are you going to use to send them emails? Go do some research, play around, look at some demos, sign up for some free trials, and build this toolbox so that you now have the tools you need to be able to do your marketing. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.